Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Astral Thoughts podcast. On today's podcast episode, I'll be talking about fear. I want to talk about fear because this is something not only on your spiritual journey that you'll experience, but this is something that people experience in their everyday lives. Fear is something that holds people back from moving forward or from letting go of things in the past. And that could be anything from say from taking a new job or being afraid to go out to a new uh, or visit a new country, or to being afraid to start a new relationship or to end a relationship or to start a business or to buy a house. Any type of big changes in someone's life will always generate fear. So just stop and think for a second of a time where you were fearful, whether that was, trying to talk to a new person, whether that was starting a new job, whether it was trying to leave someone, or whether it was, taking on a new hobby or activity or something. And sit down and think about what you were fearful about. And a lot of times, what it boils down to is the outcome. Analyze or think about what exactly about the outcome were you afraid of. Sometimes people are afraid of something actually working out. Sometimes people are just afraid of the steps and processes they have to go through to get to that outcome. And you know, it's and the thing what I tell people sometimes is to really just sit down and think that and realize that you're really just worrying about a possible outcome. You're worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet. And you're letting something that hasn't even happened yet dictate what you're doing at this in this current moment, in the present. So that's something I try to tell myself a lot of times, even if I'm just worrying about something. I'm not scared of anything, but say, for example, I'm just stressed about something. And a lot of times you're stressed about something that's in the future. And it's kind of crazy when you really think about it that, you're really worrying about something that has not happened yet, but you're just letting that stress you out. You're letting that eat away at your energy, um, and your good vibes and all that. So what I tell people is to just sit down and just really think about what it is you're afraid of and what about the outcome are you afraid of. Um, so with that said, try not to just live in the future so much. Try to just be present and be with your present thoughts. Try not to stress about something that hasn't happened yet, and don't let your fear close the door of future opportunities. With that said, I'll kind of talk about astral projection and how certain fears of astral projection can kind of hinder on your spiritual growth. For me, one fear I had, I guess, of astral projection was sleep paralysis. And I'll kind of talk about other fears that people have in general about this. So I guess the next one after sleep paralysis would be that people fear that they wouldn't come back to their body. Um, the next thing would be that someone is afraid that a demon would possess their body while they're out exploring in the astral world. And lastly, the next that one would be is that people are afraid that they'll see something scary, and I kind of had that fear as well, but I got over it. There's a lot of other fears as well. I won't list them all, but I kind of just talk about each one. So for the last one that I mentioned, where you'll see something scary, that is a possibility, yes. But at the same time, though, in the everyday life that you're living right now in the physical world, there's a lot of scary things as well. But that doesn't stop you from, say, going out to the store or going to the gas station to fill up your car, or from going to school, or from going to your job. There's a lot of crazy people and scary people out in this world, but that doesn't really stop you from doing your daily activities. And the next point is that, you know, in the astral world, it's not like you can get hurt or anything. You're using your astral body, or you're projecting your consciousness, so you can't be damaged or hurt in any type of way. You can literally, do whatever you want in the astral world, and there's no real type of way you can be harmed. So that's what I kind of tell people for that. So yeah, I think that boils down to people have the fear of seeing something scary and being hurt. And the simple answer to that is you can't get hurt when you're out in the astral world. It's just not possible. The next one is that I've heard a lot, and people will say like, oh, a demon will possess your body while you're out astral projecting, whatever. And with that, I tell people, there is a silver cord. So like, when you do astral project, you'll see there's a silver cord that is attached from your astral body that goes directly to your physical body. And that silver cord is can never be severed, can never be torn or nothing like that. The only time that cord would break is if like someone passed away. So if someone passed away and they're actually like now no longer here on the earthly realm, then they would no longer have that silver cord. But when people are on this 3D world and walking around like humans, we always have that silver cord that keeps us attached. So nothing can sever it, nothing can take over your body or anything like that. And the last not the last thing, but the other thing was that people have this fear of that they wouldn't be able to come back to their body. And it's kind of that one's kind of funny, just because when you astral project, it's kind of too easy to come back to your body, because as soon as you astral project, and if you get too happy, or you get too excited or something, you automatically go back to your body. And if you were astral projecting, all you have to do is just think about your body and you instantly pop back in. So there's that. But the one that I was really afraid of was sleep paralysis. And I was afraid of sleep paralysis just because, it feels like, you're about to pass away. um, so, but for that though, I kind of had to just face that fear, or I guess something made me just face the fear. I had to literally just get over it. Um, and that was kind of forceful, but I think that's what I needed. And I'll kind of talk about that experience now. So I had the first time I kind of experienced sleep paralysis was many, many years ago, maybe like back in 2017, 2018. And I remember just waking up in the middle of the night one night, and I was going back to bed. And as I'm going back to bed, every time I would doze off, I'd instantly go into sleep paralysis. And it was just so frightful. And I'd wake up, try to go back to bed, and instantly pop back into sleep paralysis. And I think it happened like 4 times. On the fourth time, I just like, you know what? I'm turning the lights on. I'm sleeping with the lights on. So that was kind of like, traumatic, I guess. But the next experience was kind of even crazier and more traumatic. But I kind of got used to it. It's just something you kind of get used to. It's like, sometimes people are afraid of flying, and it's just something you just have to keep doing until you say, this is something I'm used to. Now, when I experience sleep paralysis, I don't panic or anything. It's more so just, oh, okay, this is what's happening. All right, I guess I'll just try to meditate and focus on my breathing now, so I can try to astral project. So that's how I experience it now, and that's how I feel. But the second experience that kind of shook me up was even like last year. And it wasn't even the sleep paralysis that was scaring me. It was what was occurring during the sleep paralysis. So I was laying in bed, and I remember I woke up in the middle of the night. And when I woke up in the middle of the night, I said, you know what? I'll try to just lay down and just chill. That's exactly what I'm doing. And at that moment, I go into sleep paralysis. But I wasn't really ready to astral project. I didn't have the intentions of trying to astral project that night. I was just trying to go back to bed. I was just trying to just chill. As I'm chilling, I go into sleep paralysis. And at the time, I didn't know I was in sleep paralysis. I was dreaming. And in my dream, I got up and in the dream, I was in my parents' house. I get up out of the bed and I go into the kitchen. I see my dad, and I see my dad in the kitchen talking to some gentleman. I don't recognize the gentleman, and I'm kind of trying to have a conversation with him, but I notice something's off. I'm just like, I feel like I was like, wasn't I just sleeping? I instantly realize I'm dreaming. So in the dream, I'm just trying to wake up. I'm thinking about my body to try to wake up. I wake up, but I wake up in sleep paralysis, and it's happening. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just relax, focus on my breathing, and I'll just try to wake up. I get up out of bed, and now I'm walking back into the kitchen, and I'm in the kitchen again, and I'm just by myself, and I'm just thinking, hey, wait, it's nighttime. Why do I see like the sunlight coming through the windows? Then I realize, oh yeah, I'm still dreaming. I realize I'm still dreaming, and then at that point, that is when I think about my body again and try to wake up. I wake up again in sleep paralysis another time. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm like stuck in this loop of sleep paralysis. I can't get out. And so I'm at this time, I'm kind of fighting it because I'm kind of getting anxious and worried that I'm stuck in this sleep paralysis cycle or loop. And at that time, um, I kind of just focus on my breathing and I think about my body again. And this time, um, I get up out of the bed and I sit up and I'm just looking around the room. I'm just like, wow, I finally woke up. Um, but something was off. I can't remember how, but I just remembered somehow I realized that I was still dreaming. It was another dream. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Like, I literally just can't wake up. And at that moment, I just kind of just relax. I relax my mind. I just focus on my breathing and just say, just let it be. Just let it be. And at that moment, I woke up and I was in sleep paralysis. And I remember just thinking, just relax, relax, relax. I'm just focus on my breathing. It'll be over soon. And sure enough, it was over. And after that experience, it was just kind of like, all right, I kind of that was when I really faced my fear of sleep paralysis because my fear was like, being stuck in that loop. It kind of felt like I was in that Leonardo DiCaprio movie of like a dream within a dream within a dream. Um, but that's how I kind of faced my fear of kind of just really experiencing, I guess, the ultimate fearful experience. Um, so when I experience sleep paralysis, I just kind of remind myself that this is part of the process. And I've said it in an earlier video years ago, is that, sleep paralysis is just something that your body does every night. And when you experience sleep paralysis, it's just your body um, increasing in vibration frequency. But when you feel the vibrations, that's what you're feeling. It's just that the vibration level is just increasing, so your energy bodies so you can go into a different energy body. So, yeah, so I guess the best way to overcome your fear of astral projection as well is to kind of just sit down and really think about, what you're really afraid of. And for mine, it was, I was afraid of like, passing away. It was kind of that's a thing that all people kind of really fear about what it boils down to is just, that fear of passing away. But when you kind of just sit down and think that, this fear is kind of getting in the way of your progress, and you're worrying or fearful of a possible outcome that may not happen or will not happen, whether that when I'm talking about real life events, to not let that interfere with your possible opportunities as well. So, with that said, I guess um, don't let fear dictate what you're doing in your present day life. And with astral projection and all that, I can say as well, um, I was doing a lot of research as well. And a lot of times when people say these certain things about, oh, something can overtake your body or you can pass away in the middle of the night or and all that, a lot of these people that are saying these things have never astral projected. And I don't think they even know anyone that actually does it. So it's a lot of times these people that are spewing the fear or that have these fears have never experienced it themselves. And then at that point, they're just, making more people fearful, making more people afraid of overcoming their fears or just preventing them from opening new doors. And that goes in real life events as well. People will sometimes try to keep you fearful, so that you aren't happy or that you don't get what you want in life. And for me, what I did, I just started to do a lot of research. I started communicating with people that astral projected a lot, um, other scientists, um, there's other people in general that had these experiences, and I learned from their experiences. I learned from my own experience, and at the end of the day, what I learned is that from people that actually do it, and for myself, that you can't get hurt. This is something that everyone does naturally. It's just something that people just don't learn. They don't teach it. So I guess research and experience is what cured my fear, and just kind of facing my fear as well is what made me overcome it. But with that said, that was today's episode. Not sure what the next episode will be about. Um, if anyone has any requests, just I guess comment below, or you can message me as well. But thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day.